Hey guys, it's Netta. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're a first time person here watching, I hope you enjoy. Please like, share, and comment. And subscribe now. I need you subscribers. I love you guys. And for those that have already subscribed, thank you so much for returning and watching and engaging with us while we just have these discussions that we just have to have, right? Absolutely. So today's discussion, guys, is about the issue, the incident that occurred in Alabama at that braiding salon. So I'm going to read a snippet of an article out of an article called The Root, I believe it is. But first I'm going to read the copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use. All right, family. This is really disgusting, but let's get through it. So, in a viral confrontation that was recorded, an Alabama braid shop has sparked outrage online and reignited conversations about customer mistreatment in African braid shops. And because recall, we were boycotting their businesses about a month or two ago. I don't think it's been any time at all. So it goes on to say, according to WBRC, Jessica Odom just finished her hair appointment at Mama's Gifted Hands, a local African braid shop in Birmingham, Alabama, before she and the stylist had agreed on a price of $200 for the service. Now, she had already discussed how much it was going to be with the owner via text messages, so she had receipt of that. After taking a final look at the finished hair, Odom did exactly what every other customer would do. She looked in the mirror and she really loved her hair, so she went in her purse and grabbed the $200, which they had agreed to. She said that the two of the African women started speaking in their language, and then the owner jumped up and said, no, it's $50. It's more than that. And so Ms. Odom was trying to find out, well, why is it more than $50? And so the owner was saying that they had used human hair in her hair. Well, she didn't ask for human hair. But regardless, y'all, let's finish. So it says, then, they tried to make her pay an extra $50 for the hair. So she refused. She said no, because that was not the agreement. The agreement was for $200. And so at that point, she tried to leave and exit the business, and the door was locked, and she was attacked, okay? She said she had just come to get her hair done and go home. She didn't want to or think that she was going to be in in a very aggressive attack. Okay, so in the video, the stylist had her hands wrapped around Miss Odom's hair, okay? Which we all saw. Everybody saw that. And she said, well, if you can't give her the $50, then just give her $30. And so Miss Odom refused to give her $30 because that price even was not agreed upon, an extra $30. So then they wrapped their hands in her hair. They were pulling, and when you get them braids freshly done, if them African women have pulled your hair tight, like some of them do, like they grabbing for nubs, okay, then your head is tender. So for them to be pulling that woman's hair in that shop like that, and we could hear the anguish in her voice when she was screaming to let it go. So it says the two women continued to yell at one another as the stylist gripped the customer's hair. Based on the text conversation, the customer claims the new asking price of, oh no, I'm sorry, the owner claimed the new asking price of $250, but the customer kept saying that that was not what they had agreed upon. So, as they were pulling her hair, and they literally pulled her hair out. She showed us at least 2 braids that were pulled out, okay? So they pulled her edges out, which is what they be trying to do anyway. According to Al.com, on November 21st, stylist Asalto Camara, however you say her name, Julian Ando, and Gladys Nzinga were arrested and charged with first-degree kidnapping and third-degree assault, which can carry a sentence of up to 10 years, and they are not being held, released on bond, or there's been no bond set for them. So let me say this. Black Americans have accepted everyone that have come across the borders into America, especially the melanated ones. We have tried to embrace with open arms. Yet we have been met with nastiness, with downright disgusting, filthy temperament, and looked down upon and talked about and called a kata and all the other shit that has been done to us from not only Africans, but Hispanics as well as every other melanated immigrant that has transgressed here from their homeland. And let me say this, it has not been met with the same. What we have been met with has been very nastiness. I mean, we have been met with sheer nastiness. Not only did our ancestors march and fight for civil rights so that everybody melanated that came across those borders could receive equal opportunity and treatment. We did it for everyone. And then you guys come over here and you're hostile and you're hateful and you try to pull our hair out and you want to fight and put your hands on us and all this dumb shit. But you sit up with the white man over in your country, and I know because I've been there, been to a few of your countries, and you let the white man sit up there and you damn near get on your hands and knees for them, okay? But then you come over here with that ignorant ass vitriol, nasty attitude towards black Americans who didn't come over to your homeland and steal your resources. We didn't come over to your homeland and make it where economically you cannot make it in your own homeland, but have to leave your homeland and come over to our homeland. We didn't do that. We didn't do any of that shit. Yet we get that nastiness and that harshness and the way you encounter with us or interact with us. That's what we get. So that all of that is saved for us, for foundational black Americans who didn't do anything to you over in your homeland for your ass to have to come over here. And I have said it, I have heard the aunties say it, which I am an auntie. I've heard the grandmothers say it, which I'm that too, okay? To tell these young black American women to stay out of their shops. I had a very bad experience myself. Once was all it took, and that was it. I didn't go no more. I wouldn't go no more. If you see my hair braided, I have a braider, or I can go get a braider, but it will be a foundational black American braider, period. You guys say you have acclimated into the American system, but you have not, because many of your practices and tactics you have brought from your homeland over to our homeland and has disturbed the peace. And I'm going to tell you how you have done that. Because if I had a braiding shop and someone came in, even if they refused to pay, I'm going to let them go. I'm going to file a police report and I'm going to handle it the legal way. But to put your hands on somebody, okay, because they will not, you can't extort them out of additional money that was not agreed upon. It's not smart. Now, as I said, that sentence, those charges that they got, especially the kidnapping, can hold a sentence of up to 10 years. And after that 10 years, where do you think you're going? Back over into Alabama? I think not. They're going to put your ass on a ship or plane or however they do it, and they're going to take your ass back to your country. If you are lucky. If this same administration is not still in office. So if you lucky, that's what they're going to do. They're going to put you on a plane and take your ass back to your homeland. All because of you tried to extort $50 out of this woman. You people got to come here and use better a better thought process. You have to. You cannot no longer, first of all, because we have delineated, and I am all for delineation. You can no longer ride off the coattails of foundational Black Americans because you have been so nasty. You have been an enemy in our own home. You have been an enemy to us. And I'm not speaking from somewhere, and it's a total difference. I have went over to the continent. I have stayed in a few of the countries, and I was never treated the way I have been treated by some of you that are over here in my homeland. It was always respect. It was always mommy. It was always auntie. It was always whatever, even madam. But over here, it's something totally different. So I think that has to be resolved before we can be on friendlier levels again. We can't. It's going to have to be revamped, our whole relationship. And that's with everyone that has come across those borders. And that is because of what you guys have done. So I hear my brothers and sisters, my foundational Black brothers and sisters, when they say they're tired of the disrespect. And I agree with them wholeheartedly, 1,000,000%. Absolutely. Until that disrespect can be forgotten, left to the side, left on your side of the international, you know what I'm saying? Before you get over here, then we can be friends. We cannot no longer be friends. Period. But that is my rant for that. And young ladies, foundational Black American women, please stay out of those shops. Please stay out of those shops. There are too many Black girls, foundational Black American girls doing it. And all you got to do is Google. You'll find, look on Instagram. They a dime a dozen, and they do some wonderful work. And they will not, if you tell them to leave your edges out, they will leave your edges out. Not like in these African braiding salons, where when you ask them to leave your edges out, they include your edges and even down your lineage edges in the braids any damn way. Peace, love, and blessings to you all. And remember, Black Power. All right, family. Bye-bye.